everybody. We're going to make an old-fashioned apple cake, and this came out of the same recipe book. Oh gosh, I got a fly in here, gosh darn it. This came out of the Sturbridge Kitchen Cookbook. This is the really old cookbook that I got the gingerbread from. But this is called an old-fashioned apple cake. Okay, you need 1/4 cup of shortening, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 egg, a dash of lemon juice, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, a pinch of salt, a 1/3 cup of milk, 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 1 cup of flour sifted. Okay, so let's get started. And we're going to top it off with apples and cinnamon sugar, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Now, these are my apples. I have Paula Red and I have Granny Smith. I don't put lemon juice or citric acid. You know why? I don't like the taste of either. And they're going to turn brown when you cook them anyways. So that's what I do. And again, this recipe is so old that it didn't give any directions how to do it or whatever, so we're gonna wing it. We want shortening right here. This is a 1/4 cup of shortening. I'm just putting it all in the bowl because again, this was a very old recipe with no directions. Don't you just love those recipes that don't have any directions to them? Just like your grandmother used to have. But my grandmother had all her recipes up in her head. Now we're going to do a 1/2 cup of sugar right here. We're just going to dump it all into one pan. 1 egg. You can use whatever you want, but I'm using a farm fresh egg right there. And a dash of lemon juice, which is right here. That's just a little dab, but little dab would do ya. Right there. And let's see here. Baking soda. We have 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. Baking powder, no soda, baking powder. I'll put everything in the description box below. And we gotta have a pinch of salt. I use Himalayan salt. That's what I like. That's what we use. And a 1/3 cup of milk going right in. And a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna let you guys smell. That's my Mexican vanilla that I absolutely love. That's going right in. Just like that. And 1 cup of flour going right in. As you can see, this isn't a whole lot of ingredients, but it says to put it in a round cake pan. So that's what I'm doing. I got a glass dish here that's 18 inches sprayed. Okay, so we're going to reserve the apple slices and the brown cinnamon sugar and the cinnamon, and a tad of butter, which is right here. You just pick these other tags up and get them out of my way. And we're gonna mix this up. It doesn't even say mix or anything. But that's what we're going to do. Rise a lot because it looks like a little batter, but we'll see. One never knows. Okay, this is the batter right here. Looks like it's got a lot of shadow, I'm sorry, a lot of light right there, but it looks like a good batter. So we're going to put this right into the baking dish, just like this. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. Here, when I got up, it was 42 degrees, I think. So it's getting a little cooler. Just like this. I like kind of a puffy cake, so I'm kind of anxious to see what this is going to come out like because I've never baked it before. It's a very interesting cake, I must say. I don't remember ever seeing a cake that's made like this when you put apple slices on top. I guess that's why they call it an old cake. During the Depression times, it was really lean eating back then. But I had a family that made out very well because they knew how to can. They had a farm. They raised things. Matter of fact, my mom's trying to find me some recipes from the Depression. She's given most of her cookbooks away to my sister. So my sister has thousands and thousands of cookbooks. She's a collector. I collect cookbooks too, but not like her. Okay, we're just gonna kind of spread this out in the pan. Doesn't tell me to, but there's absolutely no directions. No rhyme to reason. And then it says we're going to top it off with the apples. Let's make this a little bit more pretty. Has anybody been doing any baking? And if you have, what you baking? It's that time of year for baking and cleaning up the garden and canning. I've got a lot more canning to do. Okay, I guess we're gonna call it good right there. Just like that. Hate to hit the side of the bowl with a spoon. Okay, then it says you want to chop with sliced apples and place them close. These are 1 Granny Smith and 1 Paula Red. So we're going to do this. We're just going to put them. Make sure you can see me here. Slide it back a little bit. We're going to just put the apples close. I'm following directions. And then if I like the recipe, I will keep it. If I think it needs to be adapted a little, I'll tweak it up. But the gingerbread recipe was absolutely yummy. Okay, we have a lot more apples, so we're just going to keep stacking it. Like I said, it just said put apples close together. It didn't say stop after one go round. It's kind of hard when they don't give you directions. I guess back in the day, they just figured you should know how to cook, and that's it. So we did that. So let's see, we got them placed closely together, then dot with butter. We'll dot it with butter. 1 tablespoon. So my dot of butter is kind of going like this, just putting it around. Normally if I had a knife, I would just cut it off in little globs. But that's what I would do if I had it. But I don't, so I'm improvising. Just like this. And it's telling me to put this in, but I'm trying to watch calorie intake, so I'm not sure if I would do the butter, but that's what it's telling me to do. And then it says you want to sprinkle it. You want to sprinkle it with sugar and cinnamon. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle it with cinnamon. Just like this. Oh, can you imagine? This is going to make the house smell really good. Really good. And this here is a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Just like that. Actually, it's building up better than what I thought. I just couldn't think what it was going to look like in my head. I was kind of hesitant about this. But it's very quick and very easy. Okay, here's the cinnamon. We're just going to shake it on, just like shake, rattle, and roll. Just going to shake it all on just like this. Can smell the cinnamon. Smells divine. The one thing the recipe does say, it does say to put it in the oven for 25 minutes. But everybody's oven is different, so check yours as we go. I just want to say. So here we have it, right here, the old-fashioned apple cake. That I've never seen one done like this, so this is the first for me. So it's going in the oven at 350 for 25 minutes, and I'll bring you back. I want to say, oh yum, does this house smell good? And this came out perfect. I'm going to come back and do a taste test because it's wicked hot. But look how wonderful this looks, and look how it baked nice and brown, the cake part, and this is the top. This is wonderful, quick and easy, old-fashioned apple cake. So I'm going to be back and do a test. You can eat this with French vanilla ice cream, which we love, or you can do it with some cream, or whatever you like. So I'll be back.